Hi, this is Tong.
Hey, I'm Seth Troxler.
This is MK.
Hey, this is Claude Von Stroke.
Hi, I'm Paco Osuna.
Hi, this is Dunmore. Hi, this is Uner.
This is Derek Vincent Smith, a.k.a. Pretty Lights. Hi, this is Danny Whittle.
I'm Ben Turner.
Hi, we're Jaymo and Andy George.
Hola, this is Eat Everything. You're watching DJsounds and we're here at Adel Villa IMS in Ibiza 2014.
Welcome to the 7th Annual Ibiza International Music Summit, an event that continuously grows and gets bolder and better as the years roll by, just like a lovely Spanish vino tinto. And 2014 sees the summit hosted at an all-new uber glam Ibiza hotel, the Hard Rock Hotel. Like every year, the IMS is attended by hundreds of delegates and press who work in the electronic music industry, with this year reaching an all-time high. Whether here to keep abreast of industry trends, attend panels, network, participate in workshops, or have an opportunity to check out and sample the latest DJ technology, it's fair to say that the IMS has become a must-attend event. And of course, the icing on the IMS cake are the two incredible parties held in the stunning UNESCO site, Adel Villa, where Pioneer DJ will also be celebrating in style its 20th anniversary. This, DJsounds viewers, is the 7th Annual Ibiza International Music Summit. Let's go. Here we are now with Tong, one of the founding members of the IMS. Pete, 7th year, your baby's growing up.
It is. Yeah. In cat years, we're a teenager.
How many have we got this year? Delegates, press?
I don't know. There'll probably be, 750 to 1,000 people on site by the peak of it, probably a day. So that's pretty, Yeah, in terms of tribute, we just wanted to, Frankie was so much part of Ibiza. Him leaving us was a shock to everyone. It was not expected. And we just, we wanted to do something for him. So it was a fitting way to do it. Just really, it's not that complicated. It's about playing his music in that beautiful location, and just having a toast to him, really.
What were you hoping to get out of this year?
Well, every year it's bigger here. So I always just hope to get more than I got the year before, because IMS and our market and our community is growing so much. So I look for, it's like a high school reunion for me. I see all my friends, we're all on the road so much.
All the cute girls.
Yeah, all the lovely ladies. And we're all on the road so much that it's nice for all of us to get together and talk about what's going on in the community and the business and the art all in one place. And it's really exciting to have a bigger group here at IMS this year. Ibiza's always fun. So I hope to not get too much sleep and not hurt myself. 20 years ago, I was in my 20s and really believed then that dance music changed people's lives. Really believed then that the whole world deserved to have their lives changed by dance music. And frankly, if y'all can see it, I think it's finally happening. So I feel like now is the culmination of 20 years of work by a ton of awesome people.
So why have you come down this year?
I have come down because I am one of the judges on a new thing with Corona, SFX, and Beatport, kind of a contest / fix up the beaches / party circuit endeavor.
/ let's have a good time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The competition sounds quite cool.
Yeah, it's kind of what I already do at the label, which is kind of just mentoring younger people to try to navigate the dance music scene and listen to a lot of demos. And it's kind of going to be a similar experience, I feel like. 20 years ago, I was making experimental drum and bass and making all my own sounds from scratch with modular synthesis and wasting a bunch of time.
And look where you are now.
Right, it all worked out.
Straight off the decks, here we are now with none other than Kashmir. Welcome to the IMS.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's a lovely sunny day for your first IMS this year, yeah?
Yeah, I get to work on my tan and everything. It's really nice. The weather's amazing.
Hope you got some sun cream on.
Well, just a little bit. No.
20 years ago in music, what were you up to? What were you doing?
I was up to no good, baby. But I'm a changed man. Where do I see the future of music? I just think that it's going to be a lot of good stuff coming out because the competition is just so heavy. So it's really good for the music because there's so many people, the really good stuff sort of rises to the top. So there'll be some really good music, in my opinion.
It is the IMS 2014, and last night there was a very big party here in honor of Nile Rodgers, and attending that party was none other than the man sitting next to me right now, George Clinton.
How you doing? That was Nona's fault.
That was Nona's fault.
Nona's fault. Nona called me and told me, come on over here, we're getting ready to jam, and we're going to do a tribute to Nile. And, you know, and I've been knowing Nona since she was about 16. I used to do her hair.
You used to do her hair?
I was a beautician. No kidding, in 1961, 62.
And in Ibiza at the at the music summit, it just seems like this crazy, weird thing that's like dropped out of nowhere, and suddenly there's a reunion.
It's out of nowhere. I mean, and it's a band in the middle of electronic music, but we're part of the electronic music. Sampling is a part of the electronic music. Sampling and making new music out of the samples is electronic. You do that with digital computers. So I'm glad to be a part of that because we still do our old stuff, but we sample ourselves.
And how did it come about with Rudimental, like that relationship? They're so young, and you're like a legend in what you do. And then how does this partnership form?
Doing I don't know what you want to call it, a Q&A for a week, and we recorded a live album straight to vinyl. They were there. And we took pictures together, and they asked me would I do some work with them. And Lois, the lady who was just here, told me who they were and blah, blah. So I said, yes, definitely. Yeah. So I did 2 with them, 3 with Boy George, and about 5 with Josh Stone. I just had a whole week of fun recording with everybody. But in the States, I do the same thing, like I said, with the new young artists. Kendrick Lamar is like the newest thing around there. And I did nice songs with him. Rudimental is taking off with that. I think we hit the jackpot with theirs because the songs came out beautiful. I'm always looking for the new set of kids, that's doing stuff. Because the way to keep up with this music is look for music that parents and older musicians say, that ain't music. When you hear parents say, that's noise, that's not music. Or when you hear older musicians say, it's not really music, you can bet that's the next music. Like last night with Nile and Nona, we had fun. I've never funked around with them on stage. We got up on stage and got to clowning. I think we might have scared Durant guy.
Simon Le Bon.
I think we scared him. I didn't mean to, but, we go into got that doo-doo, got that doo-doo, we got that shit, we got that shit. That's part of shaking your booty.
Okay, straight out of his panel, we have Derek Vincent Smith, a.k.a. Pretty Lights, who has been creating the IMS anthem for 2014, and now he's sitting next to me. What was the brief for creating an IMS anthem?
The brief was sort of just make a track, whatever. Yeah, and I was like, okay, so so I sort of came up with an approach myself. I wanted to do my own style, obviously, and not cater to a certain audience or demographic, but I did end up sort of using some vocal samples that would sound at home on like a house track or some EDM music like that, but used it in my own way. So that was sort of my way of speaking to this whole culture, this island and the scene that has evolved here.
Are we in for a treat? I'm sure we are.
Hell yeah, you're in for a treat. Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful venue, and I think that my music style is new to this summit, to this island, really.
Can you describe your style then for our viewers and in general, and so we have a bit of an idea what we can expect tonight?
Yeah. I mean, when I play live, I only play my own original productions, and I produce them live, and it's a hip-hop based electronic genre, so I kind of refer to it as electro hip-hop soul. It's like the easiest way.
Welcome to the IMS. Have you had a good time?
Yeah, it's the first time here. I always hear about it, and now to be invited was, definitely an honor.
So, you were invited down here today, and that was to do the remix of the anthem that Pretty Lights has been creating. And so what was your plan, like, once you got all the parts to...
The funny thing is I didn't finish the remix yet, so I'm kind of talking premature, but when I got the song, it's a slower tempo, and he has really cool vocal parts in it. And I know I'm going to pretty much slaughter those vocal parts, so I'm excited about that. 20 years ago, I think I probably just finished Nightcrawler's remix, Push the Feeling On, right around there. And it was pretty much my start into this whole industry. And I wasn't really DJing then, I was more just kind of getting my foot in producing. And at that point, I just wanted to be a producer. I didn't want to DJ, just producer. I actually didn't want to be a remixer. I just wanted to be a producer. Well, the funny thing is, it's almost like I was frozen in ice, because when I stopped making house music, it sounded like this. So as soon as I come back into making house music, it sounds like it did in the in the 90s. So it's kind of weird, because I missed everything that happened from like 96 to 2009. I couldn't tell you anything of who was big, what sounds are big.
Tell us a little bit about your panels this morning. Sort of what you think they were trying to gain from you, and what you're trying to gain.
Yeah, we did a panel on the kind of Ibiza and like what's going on, the kind of contemporary, the current state of Ibiza, as well as I did a nice little Q&A with Tong, just kind of talking about myself and life and culture and things. I realized that maybe I'm a bit presumptuous about EDM, and they have more to offer than just being a kind of a low-grade quality of pop music. So who knows? You learn something new every day. It all went really well, I think both panels, or both talks, really raised a lot of questions, and we kind of covered a lot of ground, so it was good.
And then, of course, you're playing up in Dalt Villa.
Playing in Dalt Villa on Friday, doing the closing. I think I'm going to play back-to-back with Jaymo, and it should be great. Yeah, we're really excited.
No stranger to an IMS is Mr. Simon Dunmore, head honcho of Defected. Hi, Simon. Welcome back to another IMS.
Hi, Mel. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. The sun shines out.
Beautiful, eh?
Isn't it?
But no, I can think of worse places to be. Obviously, a new location this year at the Hard Rock Hotel, and it's actually I'm actually quite impressed with it. It's people resist change, so you always go into a new situation being a little bit apprehensive, but. The layout's great. The poolside barbecues and parties have been well attended, and I think it's been a good networking experience.
What were you doing 20 years ago in the music industry?
Well, I've always done what I do. House music is something that I've been into for almost 3 decades now, and so 20 years ago I was running AMPM Records, which was acknowledged to be a successful house music label of its time, working with CeCe Peniston and Sounds of Blackness and A&M artists like Barry White, and it was it was a really good time for me.
And why did you come to the IMS today? Why did they invite you down here?
Well, actually, they invited me to talk about this underground scene in Spain. It's always nice to see how people fight about the culture in the country, especially people like was in the platform before from Sonar and from Monegros. I respect a lot the Arnau family, because it's 5 generations doing the same thing, 5 generations believing in the music, 5 generations working to have his space in the scene, and it's something to admire.
So I'm sat here now. The sun has actually come out. It's day 2 of the IMS, and I'm lucky enough to have by my side a legend here in Ibiza and, well, internationally, the king of Balearic beats, Alfredo. Hello, welcome to another IMS, Alfredo.
Thank you very much.
So Alfredo, I mean, we've seen you down at the IMS a few times over the years. What makes you come down here, and why do you come to the IMS?
And they invite me first. And I think it's a very interesting thing to know people, to meet people, to change ideas, and to be part of it.
You would have seen a lot of change in the industry over the years.
Yeah, when we start, the dance music wasn't nearly an industry, wasn't influential in the sales of records, wasn't on the top 10 of anywhere, and now it's completely everywhere.
So let's go back 20 years. Where were you musically? Where was your head at musically 20 years ago?
In the 90s I've been completely in house music because I think it was the best house music ever produced.
Anyone in particular?
Many, but many Master at Work and Frankie Knuckles and so many. Yeah. I think I used to play old and new music. I'm still doing the same. I don't like EDM. Apart from that, the rest for me is house.
Maybe you could just tell us why you came down to the IMS this year and what you've been a part of.
Yeah, it's my first time in IMS, and I'm really surprised because the organization is amazing, and the venue it's a lovely place, a new lovely place, and it's really nice because I love these kind of things that is around the music industry. But it's not about the clubs or parties or festivals. It's try to put the real business and the real job in front of the crowd and in front of the professional people.
And why do you think it was important for them to put on a panel about the Spanish underground? Apart from the IMS being in Ibiza, we are in Spain. But why? What's going on with I think maybe some people didn't really understand that Spanish underground music and electronic music in general has such a massive history in Spain.
Yeah, of course, and I think was the perfect point to show the Spanish underground movement. We are a lot of artists at the moment working on the underground scene and traveling around the world and playing in a lot of festivals and clubs around the world as well. And I think it's the moment to show what we are doing at the moment. The promoters in Spain, we have a lot of massive promoters, massive festivals. Sonar and Arnaud's family was at the panels as well. So I think was necessary.
Let's get started. 7 years, quite a journey. This year, a new venue. You've exceeded delegate numbers and panel numbers, and just the amount of people coming along. I mean, it's your baby has really grown up.
Yeah, absolutely, and this year was kind of really nervy for us with us changing hotels, and we were nervous about whether it was even going to be done, whether it was ever going to be done on time. Our mantra has always been at the IMS that we're getting back to business. It's about the business of dance music, and it takes a lot of work to put the smiles on faces, and so people who are coming to the IMS, they're really coming with a sort of business mentality. Our parties don't go on late. We do this till midnight. Tonight there's a bit of an after party going on down at Sankey's, but it's because it's the last night. But in general, people want to be part. They want to do their networking. They want to see the conference. They want to listen to the advice of people who are very good in the game.
What has been the most positive change that you've seen, or the most positive growth in the industry over the last 20 years?
I suppose what I really like about what's happened recently, well, over the last 10 years, is that a lot of the DJs have developed into producers. There was a time when 99% of DJs didn't make music. They played other people's music, which is okay. It's one style of DJing. But I think electronic music's become stronger because some of the stars in it, the DJs, have actually are now making that music. So, they're not just DJs anymore, they're producers, and they're remixing and reworking other people's tracks as well. So I think that's been a really good growth element of electronic music, that the very stalls that are in it are also now, you know, the ones making the music.
There's nothing beyond doing it for the fact that every day you're on this mission to push what you believe in, and that's kind of what IMS is all about. It's all about, you know, we care about this industry, we love this music, and we just want to keep pushing it forwards. And if I'm honest, it's been amazing this week. I'm a little bit upset that IMS has been used as a platform to kind of create some big division between a certain side of electronic music and another. And well, it's spread, you know. It's like everyone's now analysing the situation, and yeah, we're there to put debate and create debate and provoke debate. But you know, I think as an industry, if we start being divisive now, if we start showing that, you know, it's like East Coast, West Coast hip hop, like if we become like that, I think it's the worst thing that could happen. I think the best thing all of us have who work in this business is we're so globally minded, so globally active. We're so lucky, you know. You don't forget, any city I go to in the world, I can make one phone call, I'm sure you can, and all the DJs can, where you can just connect into a culture and into a scene and a cult, and that to me is the best thing, you know. It doesn't matter where I go in the world, you know, we can all find like-minded people, and most people don't have that. And it's working in this business, absorbing this business, gives you a very privileged access to the planet, and that goes beyond anything to me.
What was your goal? What were you trying to gain the most out of this year's IMS?
Well, we called it "Filtering the Future" was our tagline this year. We paint over that tagline. Actually, we didn't really play up to it too much in the actual programming, but as a sort of statement, I think people understood what it meant. I think we're in a time where oversaturation, you know, the democratization of making music is a great thing, but it also means everybody's making a lot of music, a lot of it's not great. We're all overloaded, iTunes is overwhelming, record shops, there's not many left, but even they've become overwhelming. It's kind of curation, which is an overused word now, but the truth is we need those filters. We all need filters of what's good and what's bad. It's our job at IMS to filter important stuff they want to know. It's everything's job to filter good music. It's your job to filter good interviews, you know. We're all here to kind of help people cut to the chase.
George Clinton.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I'm trying to work out who next year's legend is. Well, actually, no, we have an idea. No, we have an idea.
Have you peaked?
No, I don't think so. I'm saying that, you know, Nile Rodgers, Jean-Michel Jarre, George Moroder, George Clinton. I think part of our job is to celebrate people who are maybe, you know, unrewarded or not been given the respect or haven't had that legacy kind of put to them. And wait for that. And I think, of course, George Clinton, those guys have got respect in loads of circles, but no one, you know, the electronic world doesn't really think about those people. Some DJs might, but as a business we don't. And the media don't relate George Clinton to what we're doing today. So it's really important that we join those dots.
We're backstage up here at Don't Villa. It's a Thursday night party for the IMS, and I'm standing here with Mr. David Morales, straight off the decks after the Frankie Knuckles tribute. What a tribute, and welcome back to the IMS.
It was great. Yeah. Very special. Yeah. And I think it was nice that everybody got it. And they expected, I guess they got what they expected. They wanted to hear that Frankie Knuckles moment, and it was a proper tribute.
And listen, I mean, obviously you've been coming down to the IMS before, and you're invited down, you know, you try and come when you can, and then coming down tonight, was it Pete that came to you and said, let's do a tribute?
Yeah, it was Pete. He called us like, I'd like to do something, you know, please come, and what could I say? So for sure, I mean, I arrived last night, I'm leaving tomorrow, so I'm not, you know, I'm in between gigs, so, you know, to come here was...
Where were you at musically 20 years ago?
I was at the peak.
You were where?
I was at my peak. At my peak, what I mean, I was one of the hottest remixers on the block. I was traveling around the world. I had residencies in America. You know, it was a high time.
We were here representing Moda Black, our label. We did a panel today on the state of independent labels, which is really interesting, really good. We were just talking about that the role that independents play in today's music world, what role the majors play in it, and how they are different to independents, and what we do as an independent label differently to all the others.
Yeah, it's good. I think obviously the whole idea of an event like this is about sharing knowledge. So you hear other people maybe doing something similar to what we do, or maybe doing something completely different to what we do, and just taking a little bit from that and maybe applying it to what we do. So I think inspiration's probably like quite a fundamental part of an event like this. I think it's super important to if you're a consumer of like underground music, you should always look into where it's come from, and whilst I'm not saying you should be beardy about it and preach about the good old days or anything like that, I think the importance of knowing where you've come from and where the history of music, it helps to understand, and maybe because music's cyclical, it also maybe helps give you a glimpse into what might happen in the future, you know, because things come around and they mutate and they change, and I think probably that gives you a little bit of insight into the way things might go as well.
I like the IMS. I think it's probably my favourite of the conferences, in inverted commas. I like listening to people talk about dance music. I love dance music's my favourite thing in the world. So to get to talk about it and get to listen to people who I respect and who have influenced me and who I look up to talk about dance music, that's like, I'm in my element.
You know, 20 years ago, where were you at with music? You said it's been your life. I'm not trying to guess your age.
I'm 34. 20 years ago, I would have been 14, so I was into hardcore, jungle, and just getting into house music when I was 14. And I was DJing then. I was DJing back then, and dreaming of doing this, and now I'm doing it. So, woohoo!